Okay. It's Tuesday, and we're back with Disco.
Mm-hmm.
This might be a shorter stream since we
got started late.
Because we were both raiding.
Yes, so much raiding tonight. And now we have to do the greatest raid of all, getting your gun back.
Yes. I got a few guns in my raid, but none of the important ones.
Aw. There were no guns in my raid. Just a bird and Dracula.
Not even a machinist?
No machinist. We have a bard.
Okay.
They switched off of machinist pretty early. Alright, oh yeah, we finished up with you doing karaoke.
That's right. That explains this wardrobe here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said that would be my first cosplay, so we'll have to
Yes.
keep track of that outfit.
Well, it should be on the VOD, thankfully.
Yeah.
Let's
See, I think...
Are we able to do night stuff yet?
Is it 21 or 22, I think?
22. Okay. So I need to kill 2 hours.
Yeah. Trying to think.
But yeah, I think maybe we'll see where we're at in terms of time once this day is over, since we'll probably finish this day up.
Probably. Can see if Kim has anything to say.
Sure.
I think Titus and, what's her name? Klasia still have stuff to talk about, probably.
What do you want to know?
You might have some points. You could just also go do some old checks to see if you pass time.
No, it's not a particularly mysterious case. The deceased is a security guard for a corporation involved in a labor dispute. It doesn't take a DeLorean polymath to put the pieces together. I just don't see the case getting more mysterious than that.
What is this one?
There was some interest in this case at my station, but not for the reasons you have in mind. You seem to wish there was
Cut this boring stuff off immediately. You know what this case is about.
Excellent. Was there anything else? Good.
Now we still need to figure out how to get in this back room.
Yeah.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent dimpled lock. It's painted blue.
You said Titus and Colossi might have more dialogue.
That was just a guess. I'm not sure exactly where we ended up with that. I think you're supposed to be looking for Ruby now, if you remember.
Yes, that's right. You mentioned Ruby. I guess, given all this stuff with Titus, there might be some new dialogue with Everett. We could go check in on him.
Oh, yeah. And you could, like, check the shipping container while you're over there.
Yeah, sure. Oh.
Oh, yeah.
This is different music.
Yeah, I haven't heard this before.
Is there a party going on somewhere? Can we finally talk to this lady?
The woman still has.
No. Oh, the music stopped! What did I have done? No! Okay, no, it's back. Oh, I was so worried.
Okay, it's not up this way, I guess. Oh, maybe it is. It seems to be going in and out.
Yeah, it just switched the music over.
Yeah.
Oh, we need to investigate this music. Down this way, it seems. Oh, don't hear it anymore. I ruined the music.
Weird.
With my curiosity.
Oh, there's something over by that tree.
Oh.
A little dot.
I had to go investigate the music. I couldn't have just let the vibe stay.
It was.
Hey, there's a cat.
Oh, good. She's inside.
Oh, it's back. Oh, sweet music. Guide me. I guess I'm not really burning any time while I'm running around, right?
No. Time only advances with
Okay.
dialogue stuff. Or,
Fade it away again. Okay, it's back. Is there a party going on somewhere? Casey, do you mind? Oh, there's those guys. Here's the fishing village. Huh. Where'd the music go? Oh. Good job. Black swallow, you say. Alright, I've lost the music again. Anyway, on to that front. It's back.
Yeah.
Oh, it's teasing me.
I don't remember it happening. That happening in my playthrough. I wonder if that's something from one of the recent patches. Or
I wonder.
I'm curious.
It's still here.
Yeah.
What's going on?
I wonder if it's you have the boombox, don't you?
Oh, that might be it. Yeah, let me put it away. Okay, that might have been it.
Or you were playing a song on the boombox. And then occasionally it cut out when the game's audio track.
Yeah.
See if you can do a check on the crate.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last here. If anything, it seems to have grown slightly.
Need rhetoric. Just remember that. Excuse me. You can talk to this guy.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. What's his name?
Oh, hey, mister.
Easy,
I
yeah.
knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. It's like Lady Larice said when she opened a bathhouse in the basement of my apartment building. They can only get so far before they're aching to get back. And lots of folk really did keep coming back. No trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all. It's like that old saying goes, wisdom withers if not shared. And old Leo is always up for sharing. Oh, yes, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht. Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started. It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
Power borscht, huh? Never heard of a borscht that turns little guys into dogfighters. Alcohol, however.
Yes, yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags. Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Ooh, okay, we have
Oh, sure, mister.
a task.
Sure.
So to
You do
investigate
that.
the
Yes,
whirling.
sir.
He didn't actually understand what you meant, and now he's just nodding along.
Yeah, the lawyer lady left. I wonder if she, where she might be now.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Actually, hold on. Let's quick save first. There.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always.
I'm
You
looking
don't
into your
have to sit
shitty
down
brew.
this time, since you've already sat on that chair.
Well, I guess there's nothing new here.
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them. I rarely do, Harry. I have people for that. Now, you were saying?
Well, we have a new task now.
Yeah, I gotta check.
We gotta get to the bottom of this borscht.
Have you ever talked to the chef in the whirling? I don't remember.
I think I might have tried.
I'm not sure if he speaks English. I don't remember. So I feel like we might have tried talking to him and nothing
I
happened.
think I remember trying to talk to him, but
Yeah.
it's foggy. I gotta remember if I ever come across anybody selling rhetoric clothing to pick it up, so I can open that crate. Found some. I wonder if I'm sure maybe talk to Manana about it. You mentioned him.
Hello, Wandering Man.
Oh, no, yes.
Oh.
Oh, I tried to talk to him and failed a check. So he got convinced he'd speak another language.
Oh, that does sound like Harry.
Well,
The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod, acknowledging your presence. The mention of manana gets his attention. He smiles and delivers a whole slew of unfamiliar words and lively gestures. Then he falls silent again. They're friends? The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of his and then seems to wait for you to speak.
yes.
Borscht need more vodka.
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the men happy and in good spirits. Clever move by the Union.
Of course, vodka.
Of course,
Now that
electrochemistry
makes
butts in.
Very special borscht indeed. Turn it up and then ask for some yourself. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, inspecting look, then shrugs too, and seems to wait for you to speak. He looks up at you, then looks away quickly, shrugging and muttering something to himself. Shrugging is an international sign for no, I don't know what's behind that door. He smiles and bangs his ladle against each of his pots in turn.
So I can either spike the borscht or reduce the
Yeah,
alcohol.
seems that way.
Mm.
The man ponders his cook. The man says a couple of sentences in that strange language of just one word. Sounds quizzical. Then he awaits your answer.
Borscht need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka.
Of course, for turning it up seems like a dangerous idea. Honestly, the place is a powder keg. The cook gives you a long, disappointed look.
Oh,
then
sorry.
turns the stove off and seems to wait for you to speak.
I think I did a
The
bad
man
thing.
ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod.
Oh, okay. Well, I got some XP. I guess it was my boombox. So I
Yeah, it
don't hear the
hasn't,
music anymore.
hasn't come back since you put that away. But hey, now you know that if you want to bring it back, you can always equip the boombox.
Yeah. So I get to a point in the game where, like, I interview truckers or something, you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
I think you mostly just talk to the same ones you've talked to before, but that also might open up the option to talk to that lady over there.
Okay.
I think you can also talk to her when Kim's not there.
Oh, okay.
I think, like, if you try to wake her up, he stops you. But I think, so if he's not there, you can wake her up. Or
Oh,
once you're supposed to be talking to truckers, he might let you wake her up. I'm not sure.
okay.
That ride is fucking lightning.
Hey, piss. Look who it is. Shrunken cophead material.
Threaten them for their jackets.
Maybe their jackets have rhetoric on them.
So good.
Here's the war vets playing that ball game that you apparently don't throw balls into the sea with.
Yeah.
Here's the clothing guy. Pawn shop. There was a guy next to this water lock, but I don't see him around anymore. Cat's doing something back there. Hey, what's going on?
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. What can I help you with?
I got an idea, but I immediately forgot it when the cat made a noise. Yes, you.
Yeah.
Oh, these are my checks.
Yeah.
Mirror, broken window, visual calculus. Easy. Oh, is that in the church?
Maybe. If you click on it, I think it'll show. That might be in your room in the whirling.
Oh, okay. Yeah, probably. Mirror, electrochemistry, impossible. Oh, this is the girl at the bookstore.
Yeah.
Oh, shot this is to steal crime novels. Oh, I think I already did this one.
Yeah, I thought so. Maybe there is another
Hmm.
challenge with them.
Okay, oh, make Titus give a Ruby's location.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Okay, so maybe I do need to talk to Titus more.
Yeah.
Front the pigs, get your gun back. 22. I got help Egg with the beat. 10 Staban's meeting. Still have this open apartment door forever. And the murder weapon. Ask him to tell me about the case.
Yeah, I think that's that logic check.
Yeah.
Shows up.
Okay. So we'll go back to the world, and then maybe I'll see what kind of logic gear I can throw on, so I can talk to Kim.
Yeah.
Oh, this one. Oh. Okay. I am getting -1 in logic right now. Oh, my biker cop sunglasses. Okay. Rhetoric, logic, conceptualization. Rhetoric, suggestion, logic. What is this? Koroyev jacket. Not Party Dragon Silk Road.
Aww. The Auditor.
Oh.
God.
I think there's another hat that also gives logic, actually.
Oh, the phone people.
Yeah. It's 2 logic.
You do look extremely logical.
Yes. Like a Vulcan. Okay. Kim, what's up?
Yes?
Look at you. It's because you're a failure. They sent you to Slight, Precinct 57. Just think about it for a second. You're a raging alcoholic who showed up 3 days late wearing piss-stained disco garb. You weren't sent here to win.
I've considered it. It would be immensely ugly of them, not to mention unprofessional, but I also think it's somewhat unlikely. I checked the records. This jurisdiction dispute, who polices Martinez, reaches back to the 30s. It's as old as my station. And all this time we can't decide who gets Martinez? I think, yes, both stations would prefer a win. I am the finest of nothing. Safe? No. But you're old. You've made it this far. Something has brought you through. We've only just started working together, so I don't know what it is yet. But it's there. So no, I don't think they sent you as a joke. And even if they did, they are in for a surprise.
Thank you, Kim. Titus. I'm gonna get all logical on Titus.
Oh, great. Titus definitely seems like the kind of guy who will listen to reason.
Yes. Can win him over with the logic in the marketplace of ideas.
It's you again. What is it?
Oh, it's a logic check.
Oh, God.
but it's a very low one.
Yeah, it looks like a really tough one.
Oh.
You might as well take a shot.
I might put a point in first.
Okay.
Though I guess I should take a shot, then put a point in, right? Yeah, that makes more sense.
It's a white check.
It's you again.
Unless
What
it, like,
is it?
hurts your brain. But even then, you've got some health.
I've got lots of drugs.
Yeah. At least he's not calling you a clown anymore.
Yeah.
Nothing is
That cut me
happening.
deep.
The pieces are there, but they remain unconnected.
Squint your eyes.
Sorry, you're not coming up with anything. Again, the pieces are there. She could have done it. Somehow. Something else. Walla walla bing bang. It's just not coming together. I don't know what it means, but it felt like the most appropriate thing to say. That's what the witch doctor would say, at least. No one knows.
No, why did I just like that?
Still nothing, but that's okay. This doesn't have to turn into some kind of meltdown. You're just a cop, taking your time to present a theory. Why does Puzzleface get to not melt down? You and I melted down like crazy. Remember? Right. Puzzleface shouldn't be the cool guy when he fails. I was supposed to be that. Shush. I'm just more level-headed than you.
Puzzleface.
That's my thing. Let's look at this as a learning experience. What are the components you need to implicate Ruby? No. He needs to say 500 layers and I can't remember the first line.
You know, I'm beginning to think this clown is squinting at
No,
me.
he called me a clown again!
To start something.
Nah, boss, he's just mentally handicapped. I've seen him do that.
No need to be ableist, Shanky.
Yeah,
He's
Shanky,
thinking.
come on.
Let the man think.
Here you go. Access to the roof, weapon, and motive. That's not too hard. And here is what you can do to make it even easier. Come on, guys. For starters, you could find out what's behind that mystery door.
Yeah.
If it's a secret route, she could have used that to get to the roof. Can't get through the door? You know what would help. Doing a thorough search of this room. Maybe something's hidden.
Which room?
I think the room you're standing in right now.
Oh.
The one with the union.
Oh, okay.
Hey, did someone say something already? No? Yes? Who cares? Upstairs in Clausia's bedroom, the window the bullet came
Oh,
through.
okay, yeah.
Analyze that. You could crack Clausia's last defenses. Maybe she'll tell you something helpful. Say,
Okay, wow.
500 layers and I can't remember the first line.
Fucking drama.
Drama seems
He
useless.
already said that. And nothing good. Just do what the nice, helpful guys said. And don't do the bad things. It's that simple.
Unless we have more business, we should.
Hit, like, what's the button that highlights items?
Tab. So there's a window here.
Yeah, check out the window.
Behind the dock workers, a ceiling height window.
Okay.
The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like bony fingers. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket, hanging from it. A
Oh.
bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached a yellow ribbon to make it easier to find.
Maybe, I assume this is talking to Kim, but like, I'm like right in Titus's face.
Yeah.
So should I try and be subtle at this, Harry?
Huh?
Oh, damn it.
I'm not your janitor, cop. I don't even know what you're talking about. There's nothing there.
If he says it's there, it's there.
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The Hawthorne's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, takes the key from the Hawthorne branch, and slides it across the table to you.
At least Theo's cooperating.
The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Huh.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
Let's take a look at this key. No, it's not a key.
There's a keys thing over under your equipped area.
Oh,
You
yes.
can examine them there.
Spare key for workshop.
Okay.
No. Let's open this.
You see a heavy steel. The key fits the interlock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years, but then the lock clicks. The darkness before you smells like engine grease and cut wood.
I feel like this will get you to 2200.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. Oh, pinball.
Oh. Can you figure and more? NB. Oh, it's pinball over here.
Over there, in the corner. Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats.
Oh.
It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic. A little.
Feels like a lot. Too much to play it again.
Ah, great.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy.
Oh, God.
Those flippers are ready. Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Windy. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people. The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit. Indeed, think of them as balls. It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, Fingerboy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was. The kind of a guy who uses the word
Jesus
a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist. An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent. He also hit his wife.
Oh,
kids.
God.
Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. Hateful little man.
But you seem to be having fun.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go. Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something glass.
Oops.
The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick murky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point. But that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake, and then it's all over.
Only the tension in his posture betrays his interest. How, if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee. There goes nothing, finger boy.
Alright, it's time, Thomas. It's 22:09.
Oh, it is. Oh, look at that. Alright. Nice.
Oh.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Okay, yeah,
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
Some kind of inane pinball theme, probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
The lieutenant grimaces, looking at the machines.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
No. You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now. It's strange that he doesn't like...
Oh God, no!
Here is a Zeolite. His people are incredible.
Oh no!
And they all love pinball.
God damn it.
Matter of fact.
Why did I do this? Back out. No, I don't want to say it.
When was your last autosave?
Guys?
God damn it.
Seal is an extremely protectionist
Jesus
Isola,
Christ.
inaccessible to the rest of mankind, as it has been for over 1,000 years. I have no special knowledge of them, despite my heritage. But even I know that they don't play pinball. They have a rigid class society and a punitive justice system. We should continue with our exploration of this place. It doesn't matter. Okay. I don't like pinball because I had to learn to play it for an undercover job at a pinball ring. And it's a lame, boring, and unchallenging game. There. We can move on now.
I'm so sorry,
You
Kim.
still feel he's holding out on Zeolite pinball tricks.
Oh, shut up, Encyclopedia. Jesus Christ.
Encyclopedia tricking you into saying racist shit.
Yeah.
Alright. Get to the fishing village. Save first.
Yeah.
I think you want hand-eye coordination for this.
Oh, okay.
But Other than that, maybe either authority or esprit de corps.
Okay. Let's see. We don't have anything. Wait, we do have something taking away authority. Let's see.
I think you might have a thought that's hurting authority.
Oh, okay.
Oh, your glasses also.
Okay. So he said
hand-eye coordination,
authority, and
esprit de corps.
Okay.
I thought for sure you had something that had hand-eye coordination on it. I guess not.
Okay. I don't seem to have anything with authority either. Alright. Let's see. So the fisherman?
Yeah, it's in the fishing village.
Okay.
It's like the marketplace there.
Oh, okay.
I think. Your quest should say where exactly.
Here's the old fish market at 22 and get your service weapon back. Past the fishing village until you see the boardwalk. Okay. So this way?
Yeah, should be up to like the northwest. Yep.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Okay.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now! Show me your hands! Right now!
Scavenged, battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun.
This is a really inspired character design.
Yeah, I like it.
Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Oh God. No, the terrorist mine, I collected it.
Failure to comply. Suspect is displaying aggression. Officer, under duress! Officer, under duress!
Her eyes bulge with terror. Veins protrude on her forehead.
I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Suspect is on the loose. Suspect at large. Officer, administer street
God.
justice at our own peril. That one extra lick with a baton or extra knee strike above was what was actually required. Suspect is under control. Suspect is under control.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might set her off.
The situation looks bad.
Okay, hand-eye coordination.
Calm
See.
yourself.
Time to get
Steady
oh
your
God.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you might talk to her and see if that helps the check.
Let's see.
It's the goddamn police shitbag. Cut the pavement. You're under arrest.
As she waves her hands, you notice familiar-looking ampoules and packets sticking out of the mountain of police gear on her back. Medicine or drugs?
Officer in need of assistance. Suspect at large. Get on the ground.
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Good Lord.
Disturbance reported. Authorized deadly force. Sector, take the shot. Big red key! Big red key! Confiscated contraband. Restricted access. 2 kilos missing. Eyewitness report compromised.
I don't think she's on drugs. Being off drugs might actually be the problem here.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
You know who I am?
Oh, God.
Mr. Moran? No,
Aggravated assault! Man down! Suspect on foot!
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer! License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch! Sector! Sector! Azimuth!
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need
Gosh,
to swap
I
it.
guess I have to do this.
Yeah.
I guess I can put a point in now.
Yeah.
It's a red check, right? I can't redo it.
No.
Okay.
That's why I said you might save. Oh yeah, you have a few points to spare, so you might pump it a bit.
Alright, this is how we do it. You hurl the tear bag in her face, already darting right, and immediately close the distance. Left hand grabs the barrel, right one breaks the wrist. A drop of sweat runs down your nose, and in it you see the Martinez Inlet, wrapped in the night. In the abandoned fish market, 3 figures standing in a spectacular light show. A large, loud woman is pointing an empty firearm at the other 2. She doesn't want to listen, or even to be heard.
This isn't police issue. Police weapons have bullets. This isn't real. What is this? Police guns always have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me this?
Grab the gun, right now. This might be your only chance.
Yeah, don't do that one.
No one ever cares anymore. Why would they treat me like this?
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Oh, you got a skill point back.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes to visit me.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8, and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling, and she did seem uncoordinated. But what are we gonna do with her? I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without a gun, she isn't really a threat to anyone. We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family.
One of those station call slips.
Yeah, that's what they do instead of arresting people.
Oh, okay.
Then we can ask him once we get back to the whirling. But we have to hurry, because it's late, and they might have already gone home. But I think we're done here for now. Let's head out. This is done.
Please, leave the radio on.
She stands motionless, just a heap of clothes and fleshes now. Maybe if you search her once more. The woman stands slumped. She looks catatonic under her mountain of RCM paraphernalia. Is one of those things a police cap? There were narcotics in there too. You're thinking of taking them? Do.
Guess the RCM kit could be useful.
Yeah, I think that gets you a hat.
She doesn't even flinch as you reach out and disentangle the familiar-looking lieutenant's cap from her mountain of RCM paraphernalia.
I think it is your hat.
Oh, is that yours?
It's hard to say. It's been so long since you wore yours.
It's your hat.
Shake her shoulder.
The old woman doesn't react to your touch.
Okay. See if Titus is still around. Oh, I can't teleport back until I get back to the fishing.
Yeah. I think he's still around. I don't think they leave until pretty late. Like after midnight. A cat. Looking at you.
Yes.
Judging you.
It's easy, the game is that way.
She's still not happy about that stuff you said to Kim.
I'm not either.
They are? Oh no, they're there. I thought they were gone.
You and me both, Daisy.
Yeah.
Not proud of it at all.
What is it? What's that, Copper? You want us to help little old ladies now?
You're local law enforcement, aren't you? Helping troubled civilians should fall under your jurisdiction.
Yeah. We'll send someone out. Who is? Wait. It's the pigs, isn't it? God. Poor lady. Don't worry. We'll handle this. I think she got some family in Kuron or something. Bastards left her alone when she got sick. We've been getting complaints.
Hey, wasn't Everard's B team looking for her the other day? They said something about her, I don't know, finding something?
Yeah, I think you're right. She have something of yours, Big. You're fucking with me. Your gun. She had your fucking gun.
Sure
Yeah, why did I do that?
Loud and clear. The pigs lost his gun to the pigs.
Well, at least I can see you got it back. If you have any questions. Auntie LaPlante, we always called her. Something LaPlante.
Marianne, amigo.
No.
Anything else you wanted to know? Was, like before, just an old lady. Her kids moved away years ago. Never come to visit. Never took her calls. She gets out every now and then. She did right by lots of us when we were kids. Always was a little off, but still.
The children kept her together.
Get wanted to be a cop, you mean? Well, shit. I don't actually know. Anyone know why she started acting like a pig?
No fucking clue. It's gotta be the crazy. Who'd want to be a pig? Yeah, you should be.
Whatever, Carl. Don't worry about it. We'll take care of our own. Dunno. She lives by the water. Shit washes up all the time on the beach.
Police paraphernalia doesn't just wash up on the coast, people. It's not like we dump it at night. She bought it, collected it.
No problem, old cop man. We take care of our mentally ill here in Martinez. Ain't that right, boys?
Sure enough, we're the real heroes on these streets.
Oh. You might hold off on that just so you have time to go talk to the communists tonight.
I did get some more bonuses on that.
Yeah.
But I need to keep investigating. I barely got into that back room. I didn't get anything from that yet. Probably gotta do communism now.
Yes.
Now, should I take Kim with me for communism?
Oh. Probably. I don't see why not.
Okay.
Let's see. I haven't seen this before, so I don't know exactly where it is. Somewhere in the apartments.
Oh, maybe I should save.
Oh,
in case I like fail a password or something.
Wouldn't hurt.
Let's see, was it? This was like.
That's the one with the bus and everything.
Yeah.
I don't see anyone in there. Is there a cat playing around again?
Yeah.
That's Kunos.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Kunos' dad is building.
Is Kuno's dad an organizer? I'll check all the rooms here. This is the room that one person was in.
Oh yeah, that real estate lady.
Yeah. This is like boarded up or something.
Yeah.
Can't interact with it.
Might check up by Cindy would be my next guess.
Oh yeah, that's a good call.
Oh, hey, you can talk to her.
What? No. Nobody tells me anything.
Oh.
If it ain't my business, I'll keep my nose out of it. Well, I think we'd all be better off if people kept their noses to themselves.
I think this is the balcony of Cindy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I think that glowing red.
Yeah, look at that. And there's Cindy.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Cindy?
Hello again, officers. Have you...
Oh, yeah, the murals. More done. There's like a skull.
Hello again,
Oh, yeah.
officers. Have you come to admire my mural?
Communism, 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 communism.
Oh boy.
There's a...
As you approach the metal grill, you can hear several voices having what appears to be an animated discussion. This must be it. Beyond this door lies the beating heart of radical communism in Martinez.
Hell yeah.
Somehow, the night air softens the smell of trash and sea brine. As the breeze pulls through the canvas like a shuttle through a loom, you catch a hint of something unexpected. Something earthy, warm, and burnt. The acrid smell of failure.
Yes.
No, that's just slightly burnt coffee. A smell you would recognize anywhere.
Just look at these pigs sniffing about after hours.
Cindy.
Go ahead and arrest me, officer. I swear I'll go to this village.
The metal grill is cool to the touch. You notice the lieutenant is looking anxious. His posture is rigid. His right hand hovers near the zipper of his jacket. He wants so badly to draw his armistice, but he also doesn't want to draw it.
His armistice?
I wonder if that's his weapon?
Yeah, I wonder.
Oh, I'm fine.
I was practically born to infiltrate underground communist cells. Which is just to say, we should be prepared for any eventuality.
You can make out at least 2 separate voices. 2 voices, both male, approximately early 20s.
Careful with those now. I have it. It's going to work. I can feel it.
The clang of metal reverberates all along the scaffolding. The voices coming from the other side fall silent.
Who's there? Is that you, Morris? Come crawling back already. Get out of here, traitor.
For a moment, silence.
What's the passphrase?
Let's see. 2, 3, 4.
I forget what it was, or if we even found out.
I think this is what Manana said.
Yeah, that's
There's
it, right?
no response. You begin to wonder whether they've slipped out some back way.
All right. The key's taped to the back of the door frame. Just make sure you put it back when you're done, or we'll all be locked out. And do watch the concrete. It just kind of falls away, in places.
Charmant. After you, detective.
Have fun at your underground meeting, pig. Hope it's a blast.
Thank you, Cindy. Oh, yeah, just as that's the make of Kim's gun.
Oblivious to or ignoring your entrance. Their attentions are fixed on whatever it is they're stacking in the middle of the floor. Matchboxes, it appears.
I think it's holding, Alexis.
It is. It's holding.
Careful, careful.
Oops.
Damn, hardly any difference. You two, you are late.
They should know the meeting starts at 10 p.m. sharp.
There's a great deal of tension in this young man's shoulders, more than someone his age should bear. Meanwhile, his companion inclines toward him, eager to catch every word that dribbles from his friend's mouth. Don't let them see you flustered, sire. Play along. He's taken your measure, like an ideological boxer stepping into the ring.
We all have to take precautions, especially during these delicate times. What matters is that you've made it, and that you've done the reading.
Uh-oh. No one.
Oh, fuck.
Reading.
Just wing it.
What is this reading?
Did you do the reading?
You have. Excellent. Let's hear your critique.
The themes were interesting. There were too many words.
They always say that when they haven't done the reading.
Damn it! Saban read right through me.
Well, this is getting awkward. I'm not sure what you're expecting to find here then.
There's profound consternation in his voice. You suspect it's about something bigger than your not having done the reading.
Maybe they can explain themselves.
The young man frowns at the little pile of boxes on the floor.
Nothing, just messing around until the meeting started.
They're watching those matchboxes awfully intently for 2 guys who are just messing around. It's almost as though they were trying to create the most unstable structure they could.
In the most generous sense, I would say we're cultivating revolutionary consciousness.
Yes, that's probably the best way to describe it.
But more specifically, we are running a reading group. The most rigorous and theoretically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez.
Comrade Steban is a great discussion leader. One of the best at the university.
We have been known to get into some spirited debates, but it's always in service of our larger intellectual and ideological project.
Precisely. We are not interested in senseless parroting. We like to read critically.
Within the contours of Mazovian historical materialism, of course.
Huh. As though you can call that problem teaching.
One thing you learn quickly at university is that you're not going to find a real education in any lecture hall or discussion seminar.
We are post-attendance, basically.
Exactly. The only worthwhile part of the so-called École Normale de Revachol is the library. That's where we've made our greatest critical strides.
Truancy.
They are not primary school delinquents. They are university students. Attendance isn't compulsory. Besides, we are not the skip squad.
We study all the foundational texts of Mazovian theory, of course. Just last week we finished the second volume of Puncher and Watman's Innocence of Capital.
Truly extraordinary.
And before that we spent 6 weeks on State and Plasm.
For some reason, the word plasm catches in your ear like a piece of old wax. Uh-oh. You can feel your attention span rapidly deteriorating.
We've also read Wertmüller's The Megastructure of History, and before that, Real and Reality.
Ablar's Une Paix Infernale.
The original Fisdale translation, not that watered down revisionist garbage.
These two deserve the Order of Honor for bullshitting. There's no way they've actually read all this stuff.
Obviously.
But, of course, our special emphasis is on the theories of Ignace Nilsson and his followers, especially the inframaterialists. You're not familiar with him? It's pretty advanced stuff. You may not be ready for it yet, Gendarme.
Gendarme? That's that other guy referred to me as that.
Yeah.
Addressed me as that.
I think it's like a French word for police.
Oh, okay.
Or officer.
Only Krasmazov's most trusted lieutenant, the evangelist of the revolution, and the founding father of the People's Republic of Samara.
It's hard to overstate how unimpressed he is that you've never heard of this world historical individual.
Encyclopedia, you're in the doghouse.
Yeah, you fucked up enough
tonight. He
tonight.
to be the greatest communist theorist after Mazov himself. It was Nilsson who first postulated the existence of ideological plasm, which forms the basis of inframaterialist theory.
Those words again. You've got to find out what this inframaterialist stuff is all about. Whatever it is, one thing's perfectly clear. These young students have a much deeper understanding of communism than you do. You could learn a thing or two from them. If you can convince them you're one of them. The young man sighs. His companion looks about furtively.
What do you mean? This is the reading group. We're in something of a rebuilding phase.
Oh, it's like our Seahawks,
Yeah,
right?
just like every Seattle team and
every
team in the
Northwest
Northwest,
team.
yeah.
Some of our former comrades didn't have the ideological fortitude our work demands.
It's always the way.
These groups always splintering off.
Intellectual attrition is maybe the best way to describe it. Felix said he couldn't keep up with the reading on top of his classwork. And Susanna wanted to read text other than Mazovian theory. Like novels, if you can believe it.
Unbelievable.
See? Even the gendarme gets it.
Yeah, it must be like a French slang for a cop.
Yeah.
We've tried recruiting new members, but unfortunately the current intellectual climate is pretty hostile to inframaterialist thought. These days, if you're on the left, the ascendant schools are the Gottwaldians and their
These fucking Gottwaldians.
Yeah. Don't forget about Maurice and the turnips.
Right. Then there was the whole turnip debacle. They're the most depressing school of communism. They love writing long books with a patina of Mazovian theory to cover up their cheap psychologizing.
A gang of cheap psychologists and intellectual midgets. Typical Gottwalders, in other words.
It's okay for Uli to say that, because his dad is from Gottwald. The Gottwald school believe that intellectuals as a class are capable of sparking revolutionary change. So all they can do is critique capitalism from inside itself. That's why they spend all their time smoking cigarettes and writing long works of criticism that make you want to commit suicide. It is miserable. That's probably why they're always committing suicide. You see, the Gottwald school look like communists. They talk like communists. But scratch the patina and you'll see beneath that they're just depressed liberals who've read too many books.
Iconoclasts?
For starters, they love talking about beans. Oh, sure. But iconoclasts are obsessed with beans. They love thinking about beans. They love counting beans. But most of all, they love building models to predict how many beans there'll be in the future. They're by far the most bean-centric school of communism.
Ah, yes. The much maligned bean counters, ensconced in their think tanks and high-rises, believing they can save the world through a series of incremental, assiduously technocratic reforms.
If only. They've got all the beans accounted for in their asset sheets, their quarterly budgets, their future projections. But for some reason, there are never enough beans to go around. So we've just got to cut our bean rations in half.
And next thing you know, there are budget cuts, so now we've got to cut the bean rations in half again. You see, iconoclasts claim to be communists, but in reality they're just liberals with hard-ons for spreadsheets.
More liberals.
Of course not. The only people who actually call themselves liberals are mouth-foaming reactionaries.
Well, obviously.
Basically indistinguishable from fascists. You'd need an X-ray machine to tell the difference.
Cindy is... how to describe her role?
Something of an ideological auxiliary, perhaps.
Yes, that's exactly how I would put it. And naturally, we support her radical counter-liberal aesthetics.
But she refuses to submit an essay,
Ugh.
so we can't call her a member of the group per se.
Cindy, finish your essay.
Come on, Cindy.
I would love to read Cindy's essay.
Me too.
Of course. It's an unfortunate story. You see, our ex-comrade Maurice is something of an economist.
He's studying macro and microeconomics.
Wow, a real intellectual, it sounds like.
Right. So a few weeks ago we were discussing the extra physical capabilities of the revolutionary state. And Maurice said... what were his exact words, Ulexis?
It was unbelievable. He said, turnips don't care if they are grown by communists, moralists, or Vulcan. They grow just the same.
Basically, he was rejecting the whole foundation of inframaterialist theory. Simply that under suitably revolutionary conditions, crop yields naturally increase relative to non-revolutionary crops, which Morris somehow has the gall to deny.
Susanna said that he has been hanging out with some non-communists lately.
It's betrayal.
For us, the question boiled down to, if you don't even accept the basic ideas of Nielsen and inframaterialist theory, why are you in the reading group? Well, it wasn't so much that he was expelled.
He just quit coming. We haven't seen him around for weeks.
Go ahead. Flinching? No. We're not an operational cell.
We think of ourselves as more of an intellectual vanguard.
Of course they do.
Our stance? What? Do you want to know if the SRV has established a party line on the lynchings in Martinez?
Though historically speaking, the SRV has supported direct action against right-wing paramilitary squads, especially when they are doing the Indo-tribes' dirty work.
Good point. So as a provisional matter, I can say we support it.
Are they being sarcastic? You feel like you're caught in some elaborate joke labyrinth.
Elaborate joke
It's
labyrinth.
impossible to see your way through. It's always that way. Beneath the crust of irony, there's a molten sincerity that threatens to erupt forth. You may witness it yet.
No, we're an independent organization. We acknowledge and respect the Union's efforts, but our interests are more theoretical than Mr. Clare's.
He speaks the truth.
That's easy. Crime is simply the inevitable expression of the injustice and incoherence embedded within capitalism itself. It's a symptom, in other words, not a cause.
His companion can barely suppress a yawn.
No, unfortunately, the communards were hunted down and killed nearly to a man. All that's left of them are bones and old rifles.
His companion's eyes widen as you hold up the ancient weapon. He's practically itching to stick that thing in someone's face and pull the trigger.
Yes, like that one. I wonder how many of these are still lying around in cellars or sealed up behind the masonry. Can I hold it? It's heavier than I was expecting.
The attitude of a priest bearing one of the holy relics of his faith. Though it is long out of service, its power is evident to him. When he's finished, he returns the rifle to you with a nod of appreciation.
We typically only accept new members once per semester. There's this whole process
yeah,
with essays and presentations on assigned topics. But given that we have some extra seating at the moment, I guess we could be convinced to expedite an application or two.
Oh, make it two.
Steban, you can't be serious.
For these gendarmes?
I am serious. As materialists, we've got to adapt to conditions as they are. Besides, he'll still need to pass the interview portion of the entrance process. Assuming he's even still interested, that is.
Oop. See if you can get your composure up, maybe.
Sure. We're here most every night. Maybe we'll catch you again.
Sleep well, gendarme.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, I have +1 to composure already. Let's see here. Oh, no composure. Oh, I guess there's some stuff in the room I just never took out. And coffee.
I do like their coffee.
The cobblestone's coffee is nice. Warble
Classic.
Nice.
Oh, who the hell took my jacket? Whoops. Oh, and you have a blue dot. Oh. Oh, the easel, probably.
Okay.
The gendarme returns. What do you need? Yeah, it's hers. She just sort of moved it all in a few months ago.
She said if she's going to make truly radical art, she needs a suitably radical workspace.
And I don't think she could afford rent at an actual studio. Oh, sure. He's definitely interesting, I would say.
Interesting? Isn't that just binoclard for I don't have a real opinion? His companion's eyes widen with interest. He has a cold smile.
Come on. It's not that I don't have anything to say about Cindy's art. It's more that I'm still working out the details. It's a complex question. You've got to take your time with it.
You flustered the poor boy. Now he's got to say something.
I guess you could call her latest stuff a sort of counter-bourgeoisie calligraphy. She's got a real taste for radical slogans.
It's too bad she hasn't developed the theoretical foundation to do truly radical work.
I think she'll get there, though. She's still looking for a subject equal to her ambitions. The deal, at a fundamental level, I guess you could call it the shattered bones of a dream crushed by capital.
That's really good, Steban. You should save that for an essay.
Thanks, Uli. When the idea is sound, the words just sort of flow. That could be. It would explain some of the more ornate detailing. But we're speaking in world historical terms here. What his place represents, not what it merely was.
His friend yawns, evidently bored by literal reality.
Go ahead.
Remember,
Oh my gosh.
most people go
I
wrong
roll.
is in thinking they have to hide what they don't know. Another thing, these young men have the most exquisitely tuned insecurity you've ever witnessed. Now, chin up. You've got this.
Oh, you want to start now? Sure, we can manage that.
You've caught him off balance. The momentum is already in your favor.
Go ahead and take a seat. Since we haven't had time to prepare an exhaustive questionnaire, I think we can keep this interview more freeform. Why don't you tell us a bit about the books you're interested in, and we'll just see where the conversation goes.
Because we don't have stories.
Okay, we'll bite. What sort of stories are we talking about?
A real-life procedural, complete with gory details.
This seems more political.
Oh, we're getting into the psychiatric pathologies of life under capital. Let's see where this goes.
Yes, I'm ready to
You've got them. They're starting to loosen up. You're relaxed and in control. You deftly weave every piece of the story together.
I'm just trying to imagine what it would be like to wake up with no concept of what money is.
If you encountered it in a novel, you'd say it sounded like a plot contrivance or like a fantasy.
Perhaps. But it's a fantasy that pays for things. Like your hostel bill.
No. It's just like Mazovro. The freeman of the future will be he who awakens in perfect ignorance of capital.
Wait, Steban, are you saying the gendarme is some kind of future communist?
Another quarter of an hour
Oh my god.
The conversation bounces back and forth. Whatever their pretensions, it's clear these two have been craving something real. Now you can sense things starting to slow down. Time to wrap this tale up.
But that would imply that whenever you unpeel time, you leave behind some kind of doppelganger in now time.
Good God. Have we really been talking about unpeeling time for a quarter hour?
I suppose we'll have to leave it there. But listen, gendarme. We could use someone with your breadth of expertise. With just a little more theoretical background, I think you'll be able to make some real contributions.
Yes, I would say he's got serious potential at least.
And with that, welcome to the most ideologically advanced materialist reading group in Martinez. Here's your first assignment. It's an overview of inframaterialist theory. A little basic, as you'll see, but one has to start somewhere. You're going to fit right in, I think. Come back when you're done. We'll be here pretty much every night after 10 p.m. Do be sure to take your time with the reading. We'll be eager to hear your thoughts.
Alright. I guess I have some reading I can do.
Yeah.
This is
a brief look at inframaterialism. Oh god.
I could read that, but I could also explore the world.
Yeah, that might be more interesting.
Oh, I need to ask Cindy about her essay real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Hello again, officer.
Oh.
Have you come to admire my mural?
I don't believe it. I've never known those boys to have manners.
The bemusement in her voice doesn't fully mask genuine tenderness.
There'll never be skulls, but their hearts are in the right place. Thank you for passing on the message. Now run along, Piggy.
Staying away from those pinball machines.
Yeah. Do need to go look up to see what happens if you manage to like keep that ball in play.
Oh yeah. I meant more about the
Yeah.
racism, but yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I wonder. I'll bet you really impress Kim.
Yeah. I think he likes pinball more than he lets on. Oh yeah, the union's gone now.
Oh, are they? Oh, okay. Oh yeah, they are gone. Can we play it again?
The machine is dead and
Oh.
silent. It needs serious maintenance before anyone can play again. This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88. There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descente, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
The kids feel adventurous.
No, it was maintained in 88 of the previous century. No, I think the bureaucrats just forgot about this backroom elevator after the revolution. Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
Alright, we're here now. Okay. The hand-eye coordination.
Oh,
Pinball
nice.
makers. I could have used this.
Yeah.
Footsteps.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new. 3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is good. He likes it. There's a little smile there, in the dark of the workshop.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Impress Kim.
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route leading to the roof. The roof from where you can shoot our victim. This is significant. These prints, officer, could be the prints of our killer. And if not, at least they're a good argument for this Ruby doing it, to present to Titus.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines. One person has been here. They've gone back and forth. The tips point both ways.
Between that and that. The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person. I wouldn't rule out Ruby coming here yet. This isn't an argument against her. People change shoes, you know? But it's not an argument for her either. No, these little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Oh, and this is that lady's bedroom.
Yeah.
I see. And this is that door.
This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Class here about this route. See how she reacts.
Oh, she's not here. It is late. She's not here either, though. Oh, can we not take the stairs down?
Oh, maybe not, because it's late. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll bet that's why.
Yeah, I imagine.
This window is pristine on the inside.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
Unlike the one next to it.
Yeah.
Light from the desk.
I think I have some visual calculus.
Yeah, I feel like you have glasses or a hat or something.
Yeah. Oh, I have this coat.
Hey. Oh,
it's
not
minus
those
one.
glasses. The
office shades.
Cool.
Okay.
This window is pristine on the inside. Unlike a vague sense of disappointment fills you. The glass shimmers as if taunting you with its secrets.
I'm not exactly sure either, to be honest. My imagination has a way of failing me. It's a weakness.
How many skill points? Are these all my skill points?
Yeah, each diamond represents a skill point.
Okay.
This window is pristine on the inside. Golden light melts away into the blue, glassy darkness of your mind. In it are two neon-lit shapes.
Yeah.
A man and a woman on the single bed.
It's like a Batman in detective mode.
Yeah.
Like the witness said, the man is kneeling. The woman is on her back. It's the night of March 4th and a shot has just been fired. The man looks directly at the woman. The shot's possible directions converge in his mouth. A ray cast from somewhere outside, entering his brain, ending him. From the roof outside, location A prime. The glass fractures around the bullet hole. Shards face inwards like a corona behind the woman's back. The man does not know the bullet has entered his brain. He never will. Death comes faster than the realization. The ray cast from the man's mouth unravels into a fan of possible directions, all on the roof at first. The shot could have come from any of them. This is composite location A prime, most likely of the origin points. There could have been. Then the rain and slush and wind washed it away. This was more than a week ago. 72%, with an antique weapon that fires military-grade ammunition. A Belma-grave rifle, for example. This is a good short distance, but not too short. The perpetrator aimed with their back against the railing, or possibly kneeling for precision. This would explain why it only took them one shot. The lights were on in here. Outside it was dark. It was like shooting fish in an aquarium, a well-lit aquarium. The victim opened his mouth to let the bullet in. Neither of them would have seen anything outside in the darkness, too busy with their own bodies. Point X would contradict the woman's testimony, rendering the entire proposition void. These figures would be wiped out, Detective. None that you've found thus far, but that doesn't mean there aren't any. That's a 28%, yes. In this model, the shot could have come from a greater distance. Nothing excludes the possibility. Should we extrapolate to include every possible point of origin in Martinez? According to your map of the district, this shot could have come from a wide angle of locations, starting with the northern edge of the abandoned boardwalk, ending with an islet in the bay. Let's call them B prime. B prime for boardwalk, B double prime for Land's End, and B triple prime for the islet, Detective. There may be smaller points in between, but those are too fine to zoom in on. 700 meters away, the likeliest of these B positions, 20% chance. A skilled sniper could have made the shot, provided he had a safe sniper's nest. Even with the light on inside, we're talking military training. At that distance, the perpetrator would have had to take wind direction into account. 1.2 kilometers away, the least likely of these positions, let's say 3%. A truly skilled sniper could have done it, possibly from a tent. No, too far-fetched. 1 kilometer away, an unlikely point of origin, beyond the docks somewhere. On an islet in the Bay of Martinez, perhaps. There are islets there, badly charted as they may be.
I don't think it's an area I've been to or can get to.
The shot would have been a small miracle, 5% likelihood. There is an extremely narrow field of view from the bay to the window, between Rue de Saint-Ghislain 10 and 33A. The angle would have been extreme, and access to the islets is questionable.
From where, precisely? I see you have given this a lot of thought. Are those the locations you've singled out in addition to the roof? And what is the likelihood, in your opinion, that it came from a further distance? Okay, well, we should see if there is gunshot residue or sniper nests if we go down the coast. Rule these spots out one by one. It would be the diligent thing to do. Until then, personally, I'm going with the roof version. It fits the hidden path through the whirling. A simple hypothesis.
I do like the visual calculus effects.
Yeah.
That skill doesn't show up too much, but when it does, it's pretty cool.
Well, there's... I think I saw some stairs I can click on.
Yeah, maybe you can.
Oh.
Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
So you're talking about the corpse?
I guess.
Yeah.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, all the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old? How old are you?
Oh, God.
That's where this is going.
Keep an eye on your mental health.
Yeah, I'm ready with this.
Left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder?
Huh? How old? 58. "42. And he was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week. On the bright side, you've been getting a lot of exercise lately."
There's silence. Then a little more. Here it comes. Mercy.
Sure, you're 42. Let's go.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements. To the laboratorium.
Oh boy. Date of birth generator.
Oh god. I haven't done much with
Oh
thoughts
yeah.
lately.
You've probably got a few thoughts you can...
Rigorous self-critique.
Yeah.
Let's see. Regular law official. Kingdom of Conscience. Museum-based life form. Shamrock Shuffle. Scroll wheel doesn't work very well for these.
Yeah, for some reason it seems to be going really slow.
Oh, Arno Van Eyck.
Oh yeah, that was that musician, the
Oh yeah.
musicians we're talking about. That's the one with the armor.
Oh, okay.
And date of birth generator is the one you just got.
Oh, okay. This is going cold turkey.
Yeah.
Let's pick one to work on. I guess I have to unlock it.
Yeah.
Oh, did I?
You unlock the slot now. You can
okay.
just plug something in there for free.
Let's see. What is this?
Okay.
There's, there we go. Click on those stairs.
Yeah.
Doesn't appear to be in here.
Yeah, I'm not sure where she's at right now. She might just not be loaded anywhere currently in the game.
Mm-hmm.
This
They're
medicine
drugs.
cabinet is stocked with drugs, plus an old toothbrush, and...
I think most NPCs are gone after
because of
midnight.
How late it is. Okay.
Yeah, I think Gart's still around, but he might be like the exception. You can always rent a room from him. I don't know what you have to do to get in Kim's room.
Don't remember what I do to send Kim away. Oh yeah, I go back to the fishing village. I think.
Yeah, you go to whatever room you're going to be staying in.
That's right. Oh yeah, it's Guard's still here, but yeah, everybody else is.
Oh, and the
this guy.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Hi again, Gendarme.
Smoker on the balcony.
Oh, I can maybe pass this check.
Could he be a member of the homosexual underground?
Oh.
This sexual thing seems interesting. Ask around. Become involved.
Not bring it up. I'm curious, but I don't want to be rude.
The homosexual underground? Why, yes, I am, officer. Why? Do you want to investigate? Oh, it's a pleasure group. A Sub Rosa pleasure group congregating in cellars under the cover of night. Saturday night. Sometimes even Friday night. Or Thursday night. Sometimes the congregating doesn't even end. It carries on into our daily life. Oh, we're ambitious. We want to destroy the last vestiges of meaning, the last things people in Rebishol have to hold on to, the true symbols of security. The meaning of man and woman, mother and father, their marriage. Everything will be constantly shifting and moving under our rule. The future will belong to a circus of identities just spinning around, surreal and unreal. You won't even know who you are anymore. Yes, we listen to a lot.
Hell yeah.
There we go.
Some say we engineered disco to spread our vision of a vertiginous, ever-changing society, where all there is a razzle-dazzle of gold. We are going to change the family unit with all this razzmatazz and finger dancing. And with mysteries. Of course, the mysteries are also of sexual nature, very esoteric. You can't just get into it. You have to be born into it. One is either already in the homosexual movement or forever excluded from it. Beautiful. Beautiful. That's exactly what we're looking for. Who knows? Maybe you were homosexual in the past. Maybe all of that has been repressed. I have to say that you do look like someone who might be part of the underground. You have that very distinctive, I can't understand what's going on here look. Do think about it, officer. Absolutely wonderful.
Thought game. Oh, damn it. I need to get this thought.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, gendarme.
Homosexual underground. I'll just buy it.
Yeah. I never got this one. I don't think my composure was very high.
All right.
There you go.
I'm getting I'm getting sober and gay.
Yes.
Yeah, I should probably finish this tonight.
Yeah, we could go. I assume there'll be a dream when you go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Because there seems to have been. So it depends on whether you want to do that as the last thing tonight or maybe it's the first thing
cold
next week.
This late in the night.
I think we have time to
call
do
it today.
that tonight.
Yeah, I think
We're
so.
almost at
Those don't usually take too long.
Good night, officer. We'll meet in front of the shack in the morning.
Daisy. Can't see the keyboard, Daisy.
Daisy. You causing trouble.
An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see the reflection of your face in it.
Locked.
With the expression.
Meow.
The bed is comforting, if a bit run down. Still, you've earned a rest. The bed underneath you is soft, if lumpy. Waves wash the sand underneath the hut, then grow distant to your ear. In the quiet hum of the organic heater, you fall asleep.
Like a deftly cast fishing net, sleep pulls you out of the world and into its dark shore. The rough mesh chafes, tightening around you, it digs into your brain.
The cord for the mouse.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay. Into Dark Shore. Rough mesh shapes around you.
How have things been going for you out there? Helped anyone lately? Saved anyone lately? Murdered anyone lately? Because you know you are a murderer. A disco music listening psycho killer who offs poor people and then forgets about it.
Hear that? He doesn't even flinch. Iceman doesn't care about killing people. That's nothing to him. Blackwater, under the bridge. The thing he's really scared of is much, much worse than that.
Don't tell him, sister. It's too bad. We're trying to help you. All these processes, these tortures, voices and tremors are all just distractions, flares and countermeasures to keep you from the last dream. The worst of them all.
The last dream will be total annihilation. Cinders peeling off the fuselage. We won't be there to help you anymore, Harry. We will be dormant. You will be naked and alone.
In hell, an ancient sadness, brother. 10,000 years later, in front of the video rental, there is a warm breath on your face again. Everything is okay again.
Everything is so okay. Your eyelids flutter open for a moment. When you close them again, you sense the light of the room around you. You're back. In 2 seconds, the alarm will ring.
The last thought in your head before waking is, maybe you shouldn't have seen that stained glass window of the church.
I might have to go check that out again sometime.
Yeah. Heal more.
Yeah, it'll always heal you to full at the beginning of the day. You had a mentally fraught day yesterday.
I guess, yeah. Alright.
Oh, cool. I'm glad we finally got your gun back.
Yes. Just under the 2-hour mark. We have some leads on Ruby. We got our gun back and we became communists officially.
Yes. You just have to do a lot of reading.
I do need to do some reading and submit an essay.
We'll be back next week.
Yes. Excuse me, Daisy.
Daisy, please.
I guess I need to plug this mouse in.
Yeah. It's having a bad time.
But yeah, well, we'll maybe do some more Yakuza this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And then get back to Disco on Monday.
Yep. Sounds good.
Alright. Hopefully actually still figured out the homosexual underground.
Yeah.
God willing. Alright. See you next week.